Widely known as YesitsmeToolz is a Johannesburg-based digital creator, PR strategist, and cultural commentator whose influence blends lifestyle, humor, and sharp brand instincts. Rooted in his Soweto upbringing, Toolz has built a magnetic online presence through authentic storytelling, viral social content, and strategic collaborations with top-tier brands like Dior, Jo Malone, and Dermalogica. His signature mantra, "Everything I touch turns to popular," is more than a catchphrase. It's a track record. Beyond content creation, Toolz is intentional about brand building, using his platform to shape narratives that resonate across fashion, beauty, and lifestyle spaces. From vlogs and pop culture commentary to PR campaigns and event hosting, he continues to position himself as a trusted, culture-forward voice in South Africa's media landscape.
All right, I think we are live. And is it safe to say, hello, Girlie Pops? Is that what you say?
Girlie Pops is the one?
Girlie
Yes,
Pops,
exactly.
Girlie Pops. All right, I'm going to be taking over the show today. Do wish me luck. It won't be very easy because Toolz is he's a starter, quite a fantastic human being and very expressive also. I don't know how you find it to just keep the consistency in your presence. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us in this podcast of M Sessions. My name is Golf and I do have Toolz. If you don't know him, you should. Because also your bio, that's what just attracted me to just finding out your personality. Can you just go over, reiterate it for me?
My bio on all platforms is everything I touch turns to popular.
Yes.
So basically it's, being in the world of PR, I use it as a slogan and it's stuck. People always love it because obviously the expression is everything I touch turns to gold.
Yeah.
But I changed it, and mainly because of PR, because I love to share my world and curate my world with people and make sure that they know what's popular and what's in and what's trending. And I always like to be the person that is a man about town that sets trends and doesn't necessarily follow them.
Sessions with Coca, where luxury meets legacy.
I do pick that up a lot because you're very meticulous also in your pickings. You're very, I'd say, intentional with how you portray yourself and the things that you engage in as well.
Absolutely.
What drives that, or how do you manage the meticulousness in just making sure that everything is maintained?
I think because of who I am and I stay true to myself, I always want to do things that are within my realm and within my brand, if you will, and that makes sense. I mean, coming to this space makes sense and it's on brand with who I am. That's why I said yes to, being interviewed on this podcast. But I always stay true to myself no matter what it is and whatever I do. And I think that's important, so that you don't veer off and just take something for the sake of doing it. I try my best to make sure that I stick to who I am.
Who you are.
Yeah.
And in the space you're in, I believe it's quite an easy thing to get steered off and be attracted by all the different brands you may not align with, the brand stories you may not really resonate with.
Yes.
And how are you able to still stay intentional with that as well? Because I do believe you would approach it from an opportunity standpoint, obviously leveraging the benefits, which are financial,
Yes.
for the most part.
Yes.
But how are you able to differentiate or make that decision to not take that gig that would be well paying because it doesn't resonate with you?
Yeah.
Is it something you would approach with that mindset, or?
I think, you know what, I always think with the end in mind and what I want to achieve and do. And I think the most important thing is that it needs to align with me and with my audience, so that if I can communicate something to my audience and the person that is receiving the information or that I'm, portraying on social media or whatever I do, even sitting in this chair, I need to make sure that I'm able to convey that message, it needs to be something that I believe in. It needs to be something that I use or potentially would use if it's a product or a service, and something that is just aligned, with who I am. For instance, I'll give you a silly example. If a washing detergent brand came up to me and offered me a lot of money to do it, would I take it because it's a big paycheck? No, because it's not part of my ethos and my lifestyle. Yes, I do cleaning, but it's not on brand with who I am. Not to say that there's anything bad with cleaning. Everyone cleans. I clean. So I need washing detergent, but it's not within the lifestyle of what I portray.
Yeah, and what you promote as well. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Love how you are very selective in your pickings. I do see how you represent yourself through the brands. Joe Malone.
Yes.
Dermatologica?
Dermalogica.
Dermalogica.
Dermalogica,
right.
yeah.
They will excuse me for that verbiage. And you have been going crazy with that sign, all over town, just doing your thing.
Absolutely.
What's with that campaign?
So they just launched the Magnetic Afterglow Cleanser.
All right.
And I was the one that came up with the creative and said to Dermalogica, let's shoot this. Let's do it. And a lot of times when things go viral and go great is when you run and gun. I learned that from Beyonce, is that sometimes you just need to shoot a Drunken Love music video on the beach and then you have it. But I think, with that campaign, I came up with the creative with Dermalogica and they said, run with it. Yes. And I've had a relationship with the brand for over 22 years. I've been using it for more than that. And I think I got my first PR drop from Dermalogica 20 years ago. Joe Malone London, I have a huge affinity with. I got introduced to it by my mother. And, it was something that I'm actually wearing the fragrance now. It's a pomegranate noir. And she had a soap for Joe Malone London, and I used it, and then that's when I fell in love with it. And that was, I think, also close to 20 years ago. I like to keep the brands that I love and know and work with. Even if I wasn't working with the brands, I'd still be using them. So it forms part of my lifestyle, and it's a huge bonus that I have a relationship with the brand custodians.
It is, and you've had that relationship for quite a long time. 20 years. That's 2 decades.
Yeah. I mean, those are the two brands. Honda South Africa is the newest brand that I've been working with, and that was from 2019. So that's been the newest brand that I've had a brand partnership with. Spotify I've been working with since its inception. Google I've been working with. Ciroc Vodka, Don Julio and Casamigos I've been also working with a lot. So I like to have a relationship with brands that I would use, from time or throughout my life.
I see. I see. That's a great way to curate how you relate to those brands and also how you communicate effectively with your audience as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely way to keep that relationship twofold.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what's your approach when you do engage with a new brand? What aspects do you usually look into that can determine if this would be a long-lasting relationship or not?
It is a relationship at the end of it, Golf. It's like, if you're going to introduce me to something new, then I want to see if it would be part of what I would use and love. And I'm lucky, majority of the brands that I work with and that are new are already in my realm that I use. And then they approach me and say, oh, we see that you love this. And then they reach out to me or vice versa. Then I say, I have this, I tried this out and I love it. Let's work together, sort of thing. But when it comes to a new brand approaching me, I do need to make assessment around it and see where does this fit into my life? And then how do I communicate this to my audience? And there've been opportunities where I've had new brands come up to me and wanting to work with me, but they just need to be the right fit,
I get that. And we've unpacked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I'd like to unpack and look into is you, right?
Yes.
Your becoming.
Yes.
How you developed into what we now know as Toolz. But obviously started off as a young boy, Tulani,
Yes.
coming up from your family. Love the relationship that you have with your father.
Yes.
You know, I feel like a lot of people can resonate, especially when he gives you professional advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you don't like it, do something about it, right?
Exactly. Someone's been watching the YouTube. I love that. Yeah.
Yes, but definitely love that relationship and how you are also able to show that. you
Yeah.
know, show that side of yourself.
And you know what? I think when it comes to my relationship with my father, I get so much advice from him. He is so wise. He's been in consulting for the longest time, and his business has been thriving. So, I always count on him. I'm very, 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 very lucky. I know that I'm very, very lucky to have him as my father. So I lean on him a lot when it comes to business, when it comes to decisions I need to make, big and small. So yeah, but it's also, we also like to have some fun, so which is great,
Yes, of course. It
Yeah.
creates a balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But so the development of you and your upbringing, how did all of that pour into the person you are now?
I think, I have a younger sister. She lives in New York,
All right.
and we grew up poor to middle class, in Pimville, Soweto. That's how we grew up. And our parents always instilled values in us that you need to save money. When it comes to money, you need to treat people with kindness. You need to have your future in place. You need to think about what your next steps are all the time, and what is your 5-year plan, what is your 10-year plan. And I mean, those are the three things out of the magnitude of things that I have learned from my folks, and my sister would also attest to that. But from that upbringing to then moving to the north and going to private schools, my parents sacrificed so much for us to be in the schools that we were in growing up in primary school. There were times where we had to go to Woolworths and ask them for the waste stock because we couldn't afford other, food or, that's how at times how we grew up. When we were too poor to, get groceries or whatever the case may be. So I wouldn't say it's been a struggle, but my parents worked hard, and then my sister and I have seen how hard they've worked and instilled that in us. So listen, I am a spoiled brat.
On you.
Yes, I will say that I'm a bit of a spoiled brat at times, but I do work hard for everything that I have.
Yeah, I think that consistency in your work can definitely, it talks for itself.
Yeah.
It does show actually that the hardworking, it got instilled in you. And
Yes.
it's something you are able to portray in every single thing that you do. Well, I love that side of things, actually, because no one would have actually just thought that, coming off from someone who just vaguely would go through the person that you are, you would think it's always been about the flair and the glamour and the glitz. And I like to make people approachable, and very relatable as well. Because I think in the truest essence of existence, if no one can relate to you, then there's nothing important that you really did or established for yourself or anyone else.
It's a weird thing with social media. You have a parasocial relationship with people where, they almost have an affinity to you, and the more vulnerable you are, the more open you are, people feel like they know you. I get DMs all the time from people, as if we are long lost friends, or people will share things with me that are so personal. Or I know I've got a friend now, before we met, she said to me that, your posts were just fantastic through my pregnancy, and they helped me. I've had people come up to me and say how I've been a beacon of hope in the LGBTQIA climate, to see someone like me as a representative, that they can see themselves in me, which is very profound. Where I'm just, I am living my life and I'm doing the best I can. I make mistakes. I am human.
Yeah.
But it is humbling, and it is really amazing to have the relationship that I have with the audience that I touch. I don't even like to call it the audience. I love the Girlie Pops.
Yeah.
The Girlie Pops.
Girlie Pops.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Really do.
And I love that you also make it, you take the veil, across whoever you're interviewing to make them approachable.
Yes.
Well, I like to think that I am approachable. It depends on the day and if I'm wearing sunglasses or not.
It does depend, I'd say. But I love the fact that just in your name, you can call it out in the title. Yes, it's me.
Correct. Correct.
Oh,
Exactly.
Toolz.
Yes, exactly.
Love that. But yes, that is the whole intention, to make people understand that before you can become a titan or whatever that you pioneer or you led, you were a person before that, Because people really do hold up people to certain pedestals that really at times make it just too much for them, They want this certain perfection from you, and it's almost like you're a god.
Yes.
And you cannot make any sort of mistakes.
And within this industry, there becomes a God complex where, you have a lot of yes people in your ear, and people are not really, they'll just love to be in the room with you, and they'll tell you what you want to hear and not tell you the honest truth. I'm very fortunate enough that I have a close group of friends that are not in the industry that will call me out at any given notice, and they say, don't come here with that BS. Yes, it's me tools. So it's nice and refreshing and keeps me humble.
Yeah.
In that sort of thing that I hopefully, touch wood, I don't ever get like a God complex. So I have people around me. So I'm very fortunate like that.
That's lovely. I think it's important to really have that sense of community, people that really just know you for you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So in your development then within the PR industry, how did you establish yourself, and what exactly made you want to enter the space?
So, funny story is that it fell in my lap. Public relations kind of fell in my lap. It wasn't essentially where I was going or what I was going to do. So, quick story.
I'm here for that.
So, when I was in university, I saw a brand that was called Ed Hardy.
Okay.
And it was a very popular brand in its time. And this was around 2004, I want to say. And that was
So you're like 2 years out of matric.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And then I went overseas on our family vacation, and I bought a couple of garments, and I loved it. And all the celebrities were wearing it. Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, any celebrity that was a celebrity on Robertson's Boulevard in LA, they were wearing it. And bought some of the garments, came back home, and started emailing the brand and saying, you guys should really bring it out here. And then they said, funny story is that there's someone already bringing it. There's a distributor in South Africa.
Yeah.
Then I reached out to the person that was running the brand, and I said, I will do anything. I'll sweep floors. I just want to be a part of this brand.
Yeah.
And I'd worked retail before, but it was like during high school. I'd look and listen. For the kids out there, those are CDs. CDs is what we used to put in
there in the system, and it had the whole speakers.
Correct. You're not even that old. Relax. So when then I got the job, and then working for Ed Hardy as part-time, then went to full-time manager, then went to marketing manager, and then I was national manager for the country, and that was when Ed Hardy was at its peak. It was on every celebrity, and that's when I started to be in the industry and learn and network, and it was a skill that I had, but I didn't know how it would be monetized. And in
Very
that
soft one.
Correct. So then, in that respect, then I built up my network and my people, my black book, if you will.
Okay.
And
Black book. We'll get into that.
Yes. I hated my job. I hated my job. Even at the pinnacle, at the peak of the brand,
Yeah.
I hated every second I was working at Ed Hardy. And one of the moments, my bosses at the time, took me into the office and they asked me, "Do you enjoy working here?" And I said yes. But then afterwards, like an hour later, I ran around the corner and I burst into tears. And I don't believe in crying at work. Ask Kelly Catron. Her saying is, if you've got to cry, cry outside. So, and I remember calling my father and he said to me that if you don't like the situation you're in, change it. And then the next day I resigned. And that's when I started my business. Yeah. And then that's when I started my business, Brand Ambassadors. And I've been doing it ever since. And we've done work with the likes of Bombay Sapphire Gin. We've worked with celebrities like Leanne Liebenberg, Dr. Ray, 90210. We've done stuff with Coca-Cola Light. We've done stuff with Starbucks, Grey Goose, vodka. The list is endless, and it is really empowering. It comes with its challenges. Don't get me wrong. Being an entrepreneur and in PR, I didn't expect it or think I didn't know what my next step was at the time, which I don't recommend anyone to do. But take the leap of faith. If you believe in what you're doing, and that's what I did. I took the leap of faith, and because I had the network and I was personable, and the brands that I was working with from a publication point of view, from the radio, TV, and magazines and print, I knew all of the heavy hitters, and that's why I took the leap of faith to start my business.
And just out of interest, what was booming around the time that you were, in terms of the media space? Like what was being consumed a lot? Was it magazines? Was it?
I had the Patron Silver launch. I launched Patron Silver in this country. And it was Real Gaboza, which was a reality,
I remember.
which was a lifestyle show.
Who were the presenters around the time?
Cooley Roberts, if I'm not mistaken. Cooley Roberts was on air at that time. And so Real Gaboza was there. I mean, I had all the networks from a television point of view perspective. Double HP performed and Tomorrow Day performed as well.
The greats.
Yes. So that in the media space, it was like the top billing espresso shows, those afternoon shows, and Real Gaboza were big ones. Then when it came to print, the magazines. It was Grazia and Heat magazine. Grazia magazine.
Are they still
no,
publishing?
Unfortunately not.
Wow.
Which I also did the PR for.
Yeah.
And so those were also very big heavy hitters. And then also with print, it was Page 3, Sunday Times, between Gwen Gill and Craig Jacobs writing an article about your event.
Yeah.
Gave you gravitas, gave you... that it's a good event if they're writing about it. And still to this day, if it's in Page 3 or the column that Craig writes, that your event is good if it's there.
Man, I think the PR experience definitely gives you a different perspective when you look into media and how everything is just put out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when you're looking at it from a consumer perspective, I don't think you would analyze, if you are published between the 3 pages, the event is definitely the end thing.
100%, yeah.
I'd get that. And love the experience that you got as well with the different brands that you were working with. What would you say out of all the brands you worked with, every single work, campaign, promotion that you did stood out for you?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I think because I've been working with the brand so long, and this is from an influencer point of view and my personal brand, I think I have touch points with each brand. So, for instance, with Dermalogica, I remember the first PR drop that I
you do
always
with
got, and they were big jumbo size, of product, and so to some people that might be a small thing, but at the time for me it was a major thing. But now we've done amazing things with the brand, with Dermalogica, with Jo Malone London. I hosted my own Christmas dinner with some influencers and with some celebrities, which was really special. That I did that last year. I've done a whole bunch of other things with Dermalogica, with Jo Malone London, and which has been fantastic. Honda, we've gone on amazing brand trips, which I've loved, and they've gifted me cars to use for a week, and I love the CRV, which is I was broken when I had to give that car back, but I've had incredible experiences such as going to Atlanta and New York with HBO, in 2018.
That's amazing.
That is, unheard of, before brand trips were even done, let alone overseas. And, that was just really, really incredible. And I also went to the Cannes Film Festival with Glacier Vitamin Water. At that time, I was just still doing tulane.blogspot.com. I was blogging there then before when the digital boom.
Yeah.
And that was in 2011, and it was the most incredible experience I've ever had. So
I can imagine, because
Cannes amazing, but so it's been a real incredible journey.
Yeah. There's always the big highs and
the
very low lows.
Yeah, exactly.
No, understandable. And love how you're able to also just have a full cover up of that experience and what it has turned out to be right now, which is like you in present. Like I feel like every single presentation of yourself it pours out also how you look into your work as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I believe that how you present yourself and how the impression that you give is what you do put into the work as well.
Thank you.
So that consistency,
I appreciate
and how you maintain that, it's crazy.
No, I appreciate that. I know one way of working, and I think it's from my corporate experience of how to navigate through work. And if a lot of people will say how professional I am, or how I work and how I operate, they love working with me because of the professionalism. And I pride myself with that, because they can say a lot of things, but they'll never say I'm unprofessional. So I really, really pride myself with that, And
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I think you could have done a bit to instill that, just a tad bit. Because I texted him, I think it was around 12, or it was very late.
It was 11:50 something.
It was very late. It's like, oh my gosh, you're texting me at this time? I'm like, oh. My bad.
Yeah.
And
well, I wish I could delete WhatsApp. I hate WhatsApp. It's my worst.
It does in a way blur the lines, I was able to pick that up from that encounter, that it does at times blur the lines.
I think, with that, I like to, call me old school. I like things to be done in a professional email, whatever conversation I'm going to have with you. And especially if it's about business, I'm going to say, put it on an email. WhatsApp is not going to cut it. Yes, we use WhatsApp a lot, and for quick conversation or quick approvals or whatever the case may be. I'm not a huge fan of it because because I do also, it does, as you said, blurs the lines between, because we also use it as a social sort of platform as well. I've been within campaigns where other influencers are in a group chat for a campaign, and people are sending memes and GIFs throughout the group chat, when if you're being paid for something, then I would respect that and treat it like a job. This coming to this interview is a job for me. It is, it's, I'm taking up your time. I'm utilizing my time. I think we need to respect one another when it comes to that sort of community. But I need to relax in the same breath.
No, but I
know?
definitely do understand that. And it's a very good approach because
Yeah.
I think it instills exactly what intention you're driving as well and what you do.
Yeah.
You know? Because if you're not professional about it, then it's very easy to make things tardy and
Absolutely.
yeah, leave a lot of room for a disaster.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what it is. It allows for you to make sure that it is tidy and everything is, when you go back, I love it as per my last email. I will always be as per my last email and pull it down. I love receipts. And that's exactly, so that if anything goes awry, then you have a backup and you can always go back to one email thread that you've had, So, but I mean, that's corporate, that's what I've learned.
I picked up in corporate.
Yeah.
Love that aspect. You mentioned that you work with Spotify.
I do.
Tell them to put us on. Jokes. Anyway.
Not jokes. I can definitely do so. One of the things for me is that I love to connect people. If it's in line and there's brand alignment, then it works, This is a podcast, so why not, just put it in the right ears at Spotify. There's nothing. I'm not losing anything out of doing that. If anything, I've had people come up to say, "You remember when you connected us? Look at where we are now," and I love that. And there's been moments and very big brands that I have been at an introduction of, but I don't take credit for it. I don't take credit for
that's incredible.
For that sort of thing.
I think it says a lot about you as a person as well.
Yeah,
to be a connector. I don't think it's something that everyone has the soul for. Because at times it can be a very difficult thing. Because a lot of people like to benefit and take the credit.
Exactly, or they abuse it. Yeah, abuse that sort of relationship. Yeah,
put you there, open that position for you there.
Yeah,
so you can't just.
yeah.
But the other reference I was making to, you did mention that you worked with Coca-Cola. Right?
Correct.
And a highlight that came up across as I was doing research is that you met Tyler before her Water song boomed, and she was a new pop star, all out everywhere. What was that encounter like? And in that experience, could you tell or could you say that she would be where she is right now?
Listen, I heard this song all day, all night. I've been thinking about you. Thinking about you was a song that made me say, who is this? What is this? And in my pastime, my best friend Leanne Liebenberg always says that I should be in A&R. I should, manage stars or pick out stars like that.
Because that's how actually you do curate also on Spotify.
Correct. Yeah. And when Tyler came around, and I remember sending the message to Leanne and saying, please look at this music video, watch this, listen to the song. She's incredible. And seeing Tyler, meeting her, I said, you've got something special. You are a star. You are a star. But, yes, she is. She's very talented and she's a very beautiful girl. And she, but there are a lot of talented people and a lot of beautiful people. But the way her management has also directed her and put her in the right places at the right time, it's all orchestrated by sitting next to Kim Kardashian at Dolce & Gabbana, being on stage with Chris Brown, or, it's all strategic. It's not just, here's an opportunity, let's take it. It's all strategic in making her a pop star, and that's why she's a global phenomenon and one of the best exports that South Africa's had in recent times.
And that's a very important aspect you do bring up, especially from a management perspective, to be very intentional in how you create your clients' presence as well.
Exactly. I think the theme of our conversation is definitely being intentional and curating.
Definitely.
I curate everything in my life, from my friends to the food I eat to the places I go to, because A, I don't like surprises. B,
really?
No. They need to be really good if they're the surprises. But B, I just like you live one life. And you need to make sure that that life is beautiful. Whether the interaction you have with someone that's behind the counter at Woolworths, you know, I have my Woolworths tellers that I go to, that they know me, and that because I want that experience at Woolworths to be pleasant and amazing. Or I go to my favorite restaurants. They know my table. They know where to seat me. They know what I order. So yes, I love repetition and consistency, and you know, maybe people will call it boring, but I curate it so that it is a beautiful space, you know, from everything that I do.
But I do believe also that people would enjoy a lot if they were connected, you know? Like when you go for your shopping experience at Woolworths.
Absolutely.
You're a lot more connected to that experience because you know the people, they know you.
Absolutely.
The interactions are pure, and it makes the brand also just very seamless, like integrated into your life.
Exactly.
Which is something that all the brands should be striving for, I believe, in their brand experience.
Exactly. And you know what? Like that sort of interaction with someone is very easy, you know? If you can just call, they have name badges on their uniform. So use the name, you know? And it really brightens up someone's day when you call them by their name, especially in the service industry. I mean, you know, for me, being in retail, and I have never done in that kind of a retail in terms of, you know, being a waiter or I've taken my hats off to all the wait staff and barmen, you know, everywhere, and people that work in that kind of industry in the hospitality, and because they eat a lot of. At the end of the day, so from a lot of people. So when you just do something simple like say please, thank you, and use their names in a sentence, you know, it's a very, very simple thing, and you'll see how your experience gets elevated by just doing something so simple as small as that.
Yeah. Exactly what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
The connectedness just creates a different experience.
Exactly.
And when you go there, like going there with you would be much more different if I was there alone.
True.
It now creates that dynamic.
True.
Like,
Absolutely.
I need to be here with Toolz.
Yes, exactly.
Well, love how you carry yourself and the engagement also that you do drive in every space you enter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, when I was growing up, there wasn't TikTok, and you know, Instagram was just photos. It was never videos. Yeah. So, but with that comes so much power, and I think with mental health is such an important thing. You know, where you can get swayed and it can blur your ideals of what life should be. You know, it is so important to just stay grounded and have people around you and go touch grass, man, as the kids say. Go touch grass. I think it's really, really important to have a balance between, you know, making social media social, and using it to its potential, but also in the same breath, you know, being able to connect with people. And as you said, you're a collaborator, and, you know, being able to connect with people, you know, on a human level.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was, well, actually, I wasn't watching. I won't take that credit. But my sister was watching the episode with Jay Shetty and what's her name again? She cooks gum. She makes gum for her. I'm sure you know the handle. I almost said Nia.
She cooks gum.
She literally prepares gum.
Naira Smith.
Naira Smith.
Yeah.
Had Nia for some odd reason.
Close. Yeah.
But yeah, Naira Smith. And she was talking about the comments, how bad the spin-off has been for her with having people, you know, talk good, obviously, which is like the 10% of her following or the commentaries. And then you'll just have about 80% just be off. And I've also realized how the algorithm also sells and thrives in just selling hate content. That really goes far. Like if you and I were to say a lot of bad stuff about people, it would trend.
Yeah.
But if you're just talking about, you know, establishment and positive things, they don't really reach as far. So
I mean, it's like, you know, how there's traffic and then you see there's a car accident. Why are people always stopping? But when there's a car stopped over and it's, you know,
that's a great analogy.
You know, it's people thrive on the sensationalism, and when it's negative, you know, that's the bad side of media is that, but we all guilty of it. I think, in a way, humans are very sados, in terms of that sort of aspect. But, like you'll see so many videos on TikTok that have millions and millions of views when it's scandalous. And look at this Coldplay couple that, it was such a scandalous thing that blew up within 12 hours. There were memes and, I think the whole world came together but it was a disaster of what happened with the couples. But people love, the negativity and the sensationalism of it. And
I saw a whole
life,
LinkedIn post tell us about how good that post was.
Yeah.
And necessary it was to bring the whole world together. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And I know some of you have been writing on that.
Yeah.
Called out a lot of people.
Yeah.
We're just all up with the memes.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely do get it. It's not necessarily the algorithm. It's just people and our nature, the behavior that we gravitate to.
Exactly.
Understandable.
So,
and you have had a fair share of dealing with that as well, either on your own platforms or from a very public perspective. How do you manage and deal with such things?
If they don't pay my bills, I pay them dust. Could not care less what people say or think about me. You and your 12 followers that are going to be in my comment section, firstly, thank you for the engagement. I appreciate it. I allow the hate comments. I let them thrive. I have a TikTok and I allow them all. I see them all and I allow them because at the end of the day, the opinions of people that I love the most matter the most. And people that are there for me, that are in my corner, that want to see me succeed, will call me to order and will tell me if I'm wrong in anything I'm saying, and in a constructive way. I might say, the sky is red, the sky is red. And when everyone knows is saying in the comment section, no, it's actually blue. And I'm set in my ways in terms of, and I'm going to double down that it's red. But then if people that are close to me and saying, listen, the sky is blue, you need to look at it this way. Or have you ever considered the sky being blue?
Blue?
And that is how I navigate it. You might understand right now from our conversations that I do keep almost my public persona, if you will. I'm not a celebrity, but the public side of me, to a certain extent, to that, and then I have a very private life, that people don't speak about. It's sometimes the lines are blurred. And I am vulnerable, and I do speak to the Girlie Pops honestly and openly.
The Girlie Pops.
But I think it's super important to have people around you that will give you constructive criticism and that will build you up. Because I'm not perfect. I'm close to it, but but I like to keep people around me that will hold me accountable, will say what they need to say, and in the right way. But negative comments, I've been in this industry for very long, and I've dealt with them for many, many years. I don't really.
Doesn't surprise you. Been there, won the t-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I also have a alligator skin, so it doesn't affect me.
Cold blood.
There'll probably be a bloodbath below in the comment section down below. Don't really care. Probably, and I'll read them. I will definitely read them. But sometimes I send them to my friends to say how funny they are. So, which is actually quite hilarious. That's quite funny.
But love that. Love how you're able to maintain that, because a lot of people really struggle, especially when they're new to the platforms and just newly engaged. Because from people there truly are people out there that believe that everything in the world is good. It's all rainbow and sunshine, and nothing bad could come out of that.
Good for them. I love that. I all the best to them. But I know.
Yeah. So just from their perspectives, it's a very dark world out here.
Yeah, but I think it's also weird. For me, I am a bubbly person. I'm an extrovert, and I am I'm such a bubbly person, but there are people that are introverts and they start YouTube channels, and all of a sudden that they gain so much success and so much, and it's hard for them to navigate the world of getting such a huge audience, so it's very interesting, and that's where people come in. Not everyone has alligator skin like me, so I would definitely just say have people that you surround yourself with that will have your best interest at heart.
Great.
Yeah.
There's something that you mentioned, but just to go off.
Yes.
Why Girlie Pops?
I can't take credit for it.
Okay.
There is a content creator in the UK,
Right.
and his name is Connor Minnie, and he is LGBTQIA plus creator, and he has the running group called Gains. And once he said Girlie Pops, and then I took it and I ran with it. But it's like all the gays call it. Everyone's a girly pop, It's fun, it's cute. My dad's a girly
that's
pop.
creative.
You're a girly pop. Everyone is a girly pop, and I love that it's become almost a force of nature that I never expected
An ethos
it.
around you.
Correct. I've had people in Woolworths, hey girly pop, which is quite new. I love your TikToks. I love that's a new thing I get stopped with now.
Your TikToks.
Yes.
Are you new to the platform? Or you've had it?
I've had it, but I think since February I've really spoken my mind on the platform.
I was shocked to see that a lot of people are new to the platform. Like Ket, for example. I didn't think he would, he was fairly new to the platform.
I mean, it was a platform that we were all consuming a lot during COVID.
Yeah.
And I think, now that there's a lot of opportunity and the algorithm is just incredible. I think that algorithm is incredible. I've gotten like hundreds and thousands of views over a restaurant review, over how much I love Kolanaki in Bryanston, and there's thousands of videos underneath it. So I think it's interesting how that platform has just taken off, But I've been doubling down and really creating content on that platform now a lot.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And with the new bill that is going to get introduced in South Africa for digital content and just how the regulation around it, you think that's going to definitely assist?
What is the regulation around?
Right. So there's been a new bill introduced. So basically just to regulate the online platforms a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. So to allow creators to actually earn for their contributions on the platforms.
Okay.
Because I do believe that with a lot of platforms that have been integrated into the creator space, especially in South Africa, maybe other parts of Africa as well, I don't think they were really paying out what they should, because there was a lot of contribution coming out from that end.
The only platform I get paid from directly is YouTube. That's the only platform that, and there are lots of creators all over the world, especially the UK and the US, that get paid from platforms. And I don't know why the rollout is taken. Instagram is not a new platform.
It's been around.
So and obviously the mechanic works because we have so many YouTubers in South Africa that are earning lots of money.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that bill is being implemented.
It is a good direction, a good step forward.
Absolutely.
I think for a lot of creators.
Absolutely, yeah.
Love the conversation we've had.
Thank you. I've loved
so many shared experiences.
Yeah.
In just a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And love how open and engaging you are. Really,
thank you.
Really appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And just to get the last few words from Mr. Girlie Pops. Toolz, aka Tulani Hadebe.
Yes.
What are the last pieces you'd like to give as a renaissance for someone to ideally understand what it is they should be looking for?
I love that you use Renaissance. I would definitely say that stay true to yourself, and if you don't like the situation you're in, change it.
Change it.
Make sure you surround yourself with the right people that have your best interest at heart, and don't care for people in the comment section, because what they're actually doing is helping your engagement. So whatever you want to strive to do, make sure that it's curated to the best of your ability, that you enjoy doing it and that you have fun with it. That's the most important thing that I would definitely say to all the Girlie Pops.
Lovely. Very good experience, and do appreciate you coming to the platform.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, I can't wait.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
And all the Girlie Pops, please join.
Yes.
And yeah, it was definitely lovely to have Toolz join us on the platform. I do share on the platforms, but I will reiterate as well on the platforms that the whole culture around creating the space is to elevate the experience and just give you a glimpse of everyone that comes, their different idea of life, and before they really developed into what they are, what you know them for, like Talani himself, for being a very phenomenal brand in South Africa, started as a human being. And that's where we all connect at that point. And thank you very much for joining us in this episode of M Sessions. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and definitely follow us on Instagram. Thank you very much.
Thank you.